Legacy number 4, the happiest place on earth. Please welcome Stephanie.
In 2008, I had the opportunity to visit the happiest place on earth. Or so, that's what the sign said at the immigration counter. The happiest place on earth happens to be a country called Vanuatu. Now, by a show of hands, how many of you have heard of the country Vanuatu? Okay, well, I was like you guys, and I first learned about it when my brother signed up for the Peace Corps, and we received this letter in the mail saying, you have to go spend the next 2 years in Vanuatu. He loved it so much, he signed up for 3 more years. He was there a total of 5 years. So finally, his final year of service, I went to visit him. It took me 33 hours to get there, and 33 hours to get back. But I really did find it to be one of the happiest places on earth. Let me give you some statistics so you can place it in your mind. It's right by the Fiji Islands, about 1,700 kilometers east of Australia. So it's in a part of the world that has constant sunshine. It's very beautiful. It is a relatively young country. It gained independence in 1980 from the UK and France. So it's probably no surprise that the national languages are French, English, and the native language Bashlama. Now, it's also a very poor country, which is why the Peace Corps has such a strong presence there. My brother picked me up at the airport, and this is a picture of the large international airport. It's a single concrete building. There's 1 flight a week that goes there internationally, and then they have a few flights a day that go across the 82 different islands that make up the country. So my brother took me to his house, which was also a single steel concrete room. And it was late at night, so we went right to bed, and the next day I woke up, and I had bugs crawling on my arms. And of course I freaked out, because as Americans, we're not used to bugs crawling on us. And I scream, and he comes over and gently flicks the bugs off. He said, don't worry, by the end of the week you'll be used to it. And I thought, okay, well this is just how things go in Vanuatu. But what it showed me is that the people there are very connected to nature. And that is one of the reasons why I came to love the happiest place on earth. Another way I experienced nature while I was there was to go to an active volcano. And here is my picture, my best picture of the volcano. It's hard to really capture the essence of it in a picture. But this is an active volcano. And as we were walking up the side of the volcano, the closer we got, the more we could hear the rumblings. And it was so dark, you couldn't even see your hand in front of your face. But as you got closer, as we got closer, we could see the lava shooting up into the air and bursting against the night sky. And because it's a developing country, there's not a lot of rules. So we were able to walk right up to the edge of this active volcano and peer down inside to see the lava swooshing around inside. And every now and then we had to step back when one of the eruptions were a little bit much. I was terrified. And the guide that was with us simply laughed. He was so used to it. Again, they're so connected with nature. It was so everyday to him. But for me, it was a completely majestic experience. Something that I can't even find the words to express how magical it really is. You learn what a force of nature certain things are, and that you're really not in control. There's something bigger, some bigger force of nature that's really in control of your life. Another way we connected with nature was on an island we went to called Epi. And on Epi, we stayed in a tiki hut for a week. And as you can see here, it's all made out of bamboo. There's a mosquito net so we don't get stung. And on this island, there's no internet. There are no Blackberries. There's no cell phone coverage. We got up at sunrise. We went to bed at sundown. And while we were there, we went hiking through a rainforest. And it was a very lush, very green rainforest. This is my my little brother, hiking through the rainforest. And as we were walking through this rainforest, we actually were going from one side of the island to the other side. And it took us several hours, but there wasn't a whole lot of other stuff to do, so it was a nice use of our time. But as we were walking, we ran into a wild hog. A hog came and stood right in front of us. And of course, my heart started beating, I didn't know what to do. And my brother very simply said, "You just walk around it like this." And he walked around it. And the big hog just stood there looking at him. And I'm staring at it, thinking, please don't run me over. But I walked around too. And I made it across this wild hog safely. But again, as Americans, we're not used to running into wild animals. But in Vanuatu, they're so at peace with nature, they just walk right by. It's not a scary experience for them. And the final thing that I wanted to show you was a waterfall that we went to go visit. And there actually was an episode of Survivor that was filmed here. And it was these big, beautiful mountains, lots of water, the bluest water I've ever seen sprinkling down, and lush green rainforest all around. And again, because there are no rules, we could crawl through the waterfalls, run through the rainforest. There was nothing that we couldn't do there.